Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be having a go at solving the Hanayama Mobius puzzle. Now the Mobius puzzle is a level 4 out of 6 on the Hanayama difficulty scale, which in my opinion is probably the perfect balance between a challenge and a fun puzzle to do at the same time. Now, there's obviously some variants in level 4s, there's some very easy ones that we've done before, there's some very hard ones that we've done before. The level 5s and 6s, which is the hardest two levels that you can do, they tend to require a lot more effort and it's a little bit less rewarding because of how frustrating it can be. And the level 1s and 2s are sort of a little bit too easy to be satisfying in a way. 3s and 4s especially are sort of satisfying and challenging at the same time. And the Mobius puzzle is one of the more interesting looking puzzles that we've done before. I'm interested to get it out of the box and see what it actually looks like. It's sort of like an illusion of some sort where it's sort of almost never ending. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this one looks like in person. And as always, we're going to do 3 things in total, or we're going to aim to do 3 things. We're going to try and separate that coin thing from that track looking thing. Then we're going to try and put it back into its original position, and once we've done that, we will then place it on the leaderboard. Easiest puzzle down here, hardest puzzle down here, and everything in between. And once we've done it, we'll see where the Mobius puzzle ranks, in my opinion, on my own difficulty leaderboard. Let's get straight into attempting to solve the Mobius puzzle. Okay, so here is the Mobius puzzle. And yeah, this does look pretty cool. Obviously, it's sort of like a continuous spiral that never ends and comes back around, which gives it its it's very interesting, intriguing look. And yeah, as obviously our aim is to separate this coin-shaped thing from the actual spiral bit. These are all the technical terms, by the way. And as always, we'll have a look at the box. Sometimes there's a hint on here, sometimes it sort of confuses a little bit more. But if we look at here, well, we've got another puzzle from Oscar van der Venter. He is a prolific Hanayama puzzle creator. I can't remember which other ones, but he's definitely done a lot. Have you ever heard of the Mobius strip? It is a complex surface where the front and back are indistinguishable. In this puzzle, obstacles are placed on the surface and block the way, just like a maze. As you move forward, the front becomes the back, and vice versa, leaving you perplexed. So yeah, obviously our aim is to separate this thing. And we've got a slit in here that it was sort of sat in the starting positions. This is where we're coming back to. I'm also guessing that we come off in that place as well, and I was actually just then looking for a similar slit on the inside here where we can actually start and get on, because as it says, it's almost like these pieces in here are a maze and we have to work our way around, probably just spinning around a lot for us then to leave this gap sort of lined up here and separate it from there. And I was looking for a gap on the inside where we can actually start, but obviously we just spin around here, and that's quite mind-blowing, to be honest, that we start here with it facing this way, we just do one turn and we've got it on the outside. And we can enter the maze in here now, and we can then try and work our way around. And what I haven't thought about is that there's 2 sides, so we've got to guide this bit around here and this bit around here. And I think we'll just stick with this side. I say this side, but it's going to change sides as we go around. And obviously here I'm quite excited because it looks like we can just slide that off there, but I imagine if we come around to this side, it's not going to be as easy as that, which it isn't. Can we even how do we come through this bit? This is very clever. Can't quite fit down through this bit because obviously it was so close in there. Can't fit through there because this bit is in the way. Wow, this is incredibly clever. I'm guessing we're gonna have to go back. So I've done like one full rotation round, I think, like, or I guess two to sort of come back to this position 2 times around. And looking at it, I feel like we probably have to come in from down here to get it separated. It's hard keeping track of where's where, so I think if we come down here, it seems to be quite free. And then let's almost try and work it backwards. So if we end up, so we can, if we get down here, we can come all the way down the bottom side of both pieces and into there. So for now, we're not going to focus this around this sort of quite congested part of the maze. Let's just try and focus on coming all the way down, essentially to here. So this feels close to it. Yeah, so now I feel I can go all the way around here and separate it from there. So that wasn't too challenging at all, to be honest. It's quite easy, or it's a little bit easier when you know where you're going. Like, it was obvious that we were going to come off here. But when you know where it's going to separate, you can then work backwards like we did. And as I said, it's quite easy, or it would be quite easy to get hung up around here and then opposite it on this corresponding map here. And so I'm trying to work a special way around here, but it's fairly straightforward when you look at it. I mean, it's sort of been able to see a path that works on both sides, and that simply working around the bottom part worked. So that's where we aimed for, and that's how we got it separated. So yeah, not too long, under the 10 minutes, or quite easily under 10 minutes if you take out all the chatting and reading the box at the start to get it apart. But now the job is to put it back together, so which shouldn't be too difficult, I don't think, but yeah, that's the next job. So we'll get straight on with putting it back together, and I don't think it matters as to which way around this piece goes. After that, so we'll have a quick brief look, and yeah, I don't think it matters. Do not think it matters. So first thing, we came all the way around this bottom part here. I almost for a second thought that, or forgot that we'd have to come out and then spin all the way around and slide it back into there. That was, yeah, a lot more straightforward than I expected, to be honest, especially for a level 4, but that's still a pretty cool puzzle. I mean, it looks amazing. The shape of it is incredible, and yeah, that is a nice level 4 Hanayama puzzle. But Mobius puzzle done. Right, well there we go. We solved the Mobius puzzle. We took it apart, we put it back together in a relatively quick time. A very quick time, actually, to say that that was a level 4 puzzle. Now I say this quite a lot, but I think that if you know how a puzzle is going to solve before you have solved it, it makes the journey towards that solution much easier. There was only one slit on the sort of maze part of the puzzle where the coins sort of extra little jaw bit at the end could separate. That was the only part that it could come off. And knowing that then makes it easier, because you can work backwards from that point to where you currently are, or where you think you can get to quite easily, and then you can solve it from there. Now, although the Mobius puzzle was a lot easier than expected going into it, it's still a very nice puzzle. It's incredibly clever and annoying in certain points when you're sort of working on one side of the maze and then you can't really get it to move, because when you flip it around you can see that it's impossible to move there because of the maze on the opposite side. But we have now done those first 2 tasks. We have separated those 2 pieces from each other and we've put them back into their original Mobius puzzle position. And there's only one thing left to do. We now have to place it on our leaderboard, hardest puzzle up here, easiest puzzle down here. It's not at either of those two ends of the spectrum. We're definitely looking at somewhere in the middle for this one. And I think the best place to start is a similar puzzle, or with a similar puzzle to what we've just solved. Given that there was a maze on either side and you have to separate two pieces, we're looking extremely similar to the level 5 lay puzzle, which is just above the level 4, or just below the donut and just above the hexagon puzzle. So it's surrounded by level 4 puzzles already, and we're going to start there. Now the first question is, which of the two double maze puzzles that we've done, the lay and Mobius, which of those is the most difficult? Without question, it is the lay puzzle. The level 5 lay is a lot more difficult than the Mobius puzzle. So we're not going above there, we're definitely sort of from here and backwards from there. If we work our way back, we've then got the hexagon puzzle. And I think the hexagon puzzle is also more difficult than the Mobius puzzle. We've then got the coaster puzzle and the slider puzzle. Now the coaster is another level 4 puzzle, the slider is a level 3. We're definitely not harder than the slider. That is definitely easier than the Mobius puzzle. The slider is one move and you separate all 3 pieces. The coaster puzzle has an incredible amount of variation in terms of the positions that the coaster can go back together. The coaster took a lot longer to do. I think based on that, the Mobius puzzle is probably going to sit underneath the coaster puzzle. Similar in terms of it's when you start the puzzle, you know, for the coaster puzzle and the Mobius puzzle, you know how you're going to do it, you know how it's going to separate, or how it's going to be put back together in the coaster's case. Yeah, we're going to sit above the slider puzzle, but just below the coaster puzzle. And that actually makes the Mobius puzzle the 50th Hanayama puzzle that we have done so far, which is quite the milestone. We've still got plenty to go, and there's still a lot of Hanayama puzzles that we haven't yet done that need placing on our leaderboard. By the time we've done them all, I imagine we'll probably need another shelf, but we'll see how we get on with that and how they all fit on the shelves as we go along. But that is it. All 3 tasks are now done. We've separated it, we've put it back together, we've placed it on the leaderboard. Job done. Let me know in the comments below what you thought or what you think of the Mobius puzzle. Do you agree with where I have placed it, either based on watching me solve it just then, or you solving the Mobius puzzle for yourself? And as always, we will have a step-by-step solution to the Mobius puzzle video out in a couple of weeks. And if you want to see me solve any of these other Hanayama puzzles or the step-by-step solutions to each and every one of those, then be sure to click my face here to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace!